Hi, and welcome to Fats, Oils, and Grease, FOG Triage, a Western States Alliance project part of the Pollution Prevention Resource Center, PPRC. This video was created with a grant from the USDA's Rural Utilities Service. This is a how-to guide to execute a FOG triage program for jurisdictions thinking about starting a FOG program or those with existing programs trying to get the biggest bang for their buck, improve overall compliance, and increase operational efficiency. We define triage as prioritizing your activities to reduce FOG discharges and accumulation in sewer lines in the shortest amount of time with available resources. You will learn about identifying other departments with which you can collaborate to get information and assistance, identifying the expected FOG production from food service establishments, FSEs, the value of using a map to identify FSE locations compared with high cleaning frequency locations, prioritizing which FSEs you ought to inspect, identifying FSEs with an interceptor and those without, gathering data for better efficiency, and educating FSEs on their FOG generation for improved compliance. WSA is a membership-based organization and is a project of PPRC. This training video was created by FOG and wastewater treatment professionals that have been working in the field for over 30 years and have been training municipalities for better efficiency and improved infrastructure due to reductions of FOG in the conveyance lines. FOG triage is used to prioritize FSE inspections, resulting in increased compliance, less FOG discharge, and monetary savings for the wastewater treatment system. Clean Water Services found out after conducting a study that by implementing triage to their FOG program, they could save $2.4 million over 5 years. This represents an 80% cost reduction. Work with the building department. Typically, this department determines the size and capacity of grease interceptors based on plumbing codes and regulations. Most plumbing codes do not require all FSE fixtures and drains to be tied into the interceptor. However, far better control of FOG is achieved if they are. FSEs with all drains hooked up to their interceptor will capture 10 times more FOG. The building department approves the size of the grease interceptor. You can help them estimate the appropriate size of an interceptor so that it is pumped out between 30 and 90 days, which leads to greater compliance and reduces potential damage to the interceptors. The health department will know the locations of all the FSEs within your wastewater jurisdiction. There may be many FSEs that you have not inspected and many that do not have grease interceptors. Depending upon the type of food service and number of meals served, it may be important to inspect these FSEs. Work with the health department to keep a good list of all FSEs in your jurisdiction. In order to prioritize FOG inspections, look at where lines are currently being cleaned most often. What FSEs are located in these areas? These FSEs will be a priority for inspection to ensure they are in compliance. Next, estimate FOG production from FSEs based upon type of food and service plus the number of meals per day. Is the interceptor cleaning frequency adequate for their FOG generation? The FSC may need to adjust their cleaning frequency so it matches with their FOG generation and there isn't any bypass. Then look at inspection records plus evaluate any FSCs that have never been inspected to determine which FSCs do not have interceptors. Do they need interceptors? Consider creating a map of your line cleaning and cleaning frequency. Once you have this, add a layer of the FSC locations on top to identify which FSCs are co-located with frequent cleaning. These are FSCs you ought to inspect. List all FSCs near these hotspot areas and the frequency of inspection. This list may point to obvious need for inspection. In the next slides, a method for estimating FOG production from FSEs is explained. This table of grease factors was generated from the Clean Water Services grease study conducted by Kennedy and Jenks engineers. The study is available on the WSA website. It simplifies the estimation using 4 categories of food prep service: without fryer and without flatware, without fryer and with flatware, with fryer but without flatware, and with fryer and with flatware. In addition, the type of food served, menu type, figures into the grease factor. For example, a Chinese buffet with a fryer and flatware is considered one of the highest producing FOG FSEs with a grease factor of 0.075. You can estimate FOG generation using the grease factor from the previous table and this equation. Grease factor times the meals or customers per day times the days between each pump out equals the FOG capacity required for the interceptor. For example, the Chinese buffet with a fryer and flatware has a grease factor of 0.075. If it serves 700 meals per day and they want a 30-day period between pump outs, they would need an interceptor that can manage 1,575 gallons of FOG. That's 0.075 times 700 times 30 equals 1,575 gallons. the FSE doesn't have an interceptor that can contain their fog generation for that period of time, they either need to retrofit their interceptor to handle that amount of fog generation or increase their cleaning frequency. The same equation can be used to estimate the fog generation and help you prioritize inspections on FSEs with higher fog generation. Clean Water Services compiled a list of FSEs and estimated their fog generation based on the type of food served. Then they placed each FSE within ranked categories from low to very high fog generation. Low was 0 to 3 pounds per day, medium was 3 to 7 pounds per day, high was 7 to 12 pounds per day, and very high was more than 12 pounds per day. They used information from Dun & Bradstreet and their own database to make these estimates. They conducted inspections and took samples to find each FSE's average fog generation. Once they had samples, they were able to reevaluate each FSE to see if they needed to change their cleaning frequency, add a grease interceptor, or retrofit their interceptor to handle the current fog generation. It is important to note that not all FSEs will have grease interceptors, and if they do, it might not be the correct size for the current FSE's fog generation. Also, if an FSE does have an interceptor, it's important to find out if all of their drains or just their 3-compartment sink is hooked up to the interceptor. Some FSEs will be in desperate need of retrofitting their interceptor based on their fog generation. Finding those FSEs and bringing them into compliance will cut down on the fog accumulation in the sewer lines, pump stations, and wastewater treatment plant. So why is it important to have a proactive FOG triage program? Jurisdictions that have instituted triage into their program have seen reduced maintenance costs due to lift station and line cleaning, reduced treatment costs at the wastewater treatment plant due to reduced fog, more compliant FSEs which reduce fog discharges, reduce sanitary sewer overflow SSO issues. How do we collect all this important information and put it into a concise format that allows us to simplify our FSE engagement process and make us more efficient? Data management systems allow you to access all this needed information in one location. There are multiple different types of systems available based on your needs. The price is more affordable than paying a single staff member to do the same amount of work. Good data management will help prioritize your efforts to identify FSEs that are out of compliance and need attention. Get all your FSEs and pumpers on one program. Depending on your choice of software, you can have one just for the municipality or one that allows an interface for your pumper and FSE. That way your FSE can view their cleaning schedule and get feedback reports from both the pumper and the municipality to change current practices if need be. Get updated information in the field from the inspector and pumper as they evaluate FSEs and clean out interceptors. Inspect based on the data received. The pumper can send the municipality cleaning reports from the field in real time. The municipality is able to view all their FSEs from their workspace and evaluate where they need to inspect or get feedback for compliance. Send out important information to your FSEs, pumpers, and inspectors from your office or in the field as needed. The inspectors are able to update FSE information to the database during inspections in real time and provide necessary information to either the pumper or FSE immediately, without having to schedule extra time to meet with them. Some advantages to using FOG data management software are an online database where all your info is in one place and can be accessed in real time both at the office or in the field. Better communication, the ability to know what FSE is past their cleaning schedule and who you need to talk to. Documentation, a place to store photos or videos of pump out, issues, overflows, bypass, or when an FSE is doing a great job, and save this information to FSE or pumper portfolios. Better efficiency. Your program is customizable to your needs based on the program you choose. Reallocate budget efficiently so your staff can increase compliance and outreach more effectively. To repeat, in order to effectively triage FSE inspections and utilize your resources to the fullest extent, identify FSEs located at high cleaning areas and inspect them to ensure they are complying with FOG regulations. Identify all the high FOG generating FSEs within your jurisdiction and inspect those locations, and identify FSEs without an interceptor and inspect those more frequently. Create a timeline for your triage. This will help you stay on track and hold you accountable to make sure you follow through with your commitments and deadlines. Data collection can be cumbersome, but software can help. It took Clean Water Services 5 years to collect data before implementing triage. They continue to gather data to this day. During triage implementation, make sure you communicate with all stakeholder parties to ensure a smooth transition and that everyone understands the new process. Please check out some free resources available to you at the following links provided. If there is something specific you wish to discuss or would like to find out, contact us. We hope this video has helped enlighten you about the different ways you can implement triage into your current program or help as you begin a FOG abatement program. WSA and PPRC don't endorse any products or services from companies potentially mentioned. We are an equal opportunity advocate and comply with applicable federal civil rights laws and do not discriminate based on race, color, national origin, age, disability, or gender. We especially thank USDA for their technical assistance grant, which allowed us to present this information to you today. On behalf of Western States Alliance, a project of PPRC, we would like to thank you for joining us on our FOG Triage how-to guide.